Hey guys, welcome to Meals with the Millions. Thanks for tuning in again. Today we are going to be making a very easy Caribbean style oxtail. I've realized that a lot of people have never had oxtail, and so if you want to try it, or maybe you've gone to a Caribbean restaurant and have liked it, this is a very non-threatening recipe that I suggest that you can try. This is 4 pounds of oxtail. 4 pounds sounds like a lot, but there's so much bone and fat that you really don't get as much meat as you would think. So 4 pounds, I did that amount for about 3 people and it worked out. From there, go ahead and trim your excess fat off of your oxtail. Some people do this, some people don't. My preference is to do it. Not every piece will need it. And from there, that's what I have. And after this step, I do proceed with cleaning my oxtail, and I've always been taught that cleaning with a light acid such as lemon or lime helps to alleviate extra bacteria, so I do that. I just kind of run lime over it prior to me taking it to the sink. And I'm going to continue to clean the oxtail until the water runs clear. Have you ever heard of cleaning meat with a lime or lemon or any sort of citrus fruit? And how do you clean your meat? It's a kind of a good question. So leave your comments down below. Rinse again, like I said, until it runs clear, and I leave it sitting for just maybe not even 5 minutes, just to go prep other things. And then I do use my pot, and I proceed to boil my oxtail first. So just fill your pot with water, covering the oxtail, and take your pot with a lid to the stove and let it boil. These particular oxtail, I really did not pay attention to the cut. I let these boil for like 2, maybe 2.5 hours because I had other things to do, and it's definitely kind of a set it, forget it during this process. I don't suggest that you boil it for that long, depending on how large they were cut, how thick, they were cut. I should have probably done more like an hour, but after that amount of time, go ahead and use some tongs and get the oxtail out of what would now be your stock. And I don't throw flavor away, okay? So we're gonna use that later. So all of the water that the oxtail were boiling in, I will add it to a bowl and put that bowl to the side. Now I'm gonna go ahead and prep my vegetables. I'm sorry. I have some vegetable oil, brown sugar, allspice. I did not have any peppers, so I'm using a ground habanero powder, curry powder, thyme, garlic, onions. I have 2 different types of onion because that onion was actually really small. Pepper, salt, paprika. I had some celery and some carrots in the refrigerator. And then I have this Better Than Bouillon, like beef base. And that's basically all that you have. And then you see my reserve stock that I have set to the side. Go ahead and cut up your vegetables just to have everything ready and prepared. Cut them kind of thick, on the thicker side. And then once all of your vegetables are cut up, including your garlic, just push everything over to the side. This is definitely one of those dishes that if you have some extra vegetables that need to just kind of be cut up and used before they go bad, you can definitely use those. You don't have to go to the store and buy extra items for it. It's definitely just a use what you have dish. I do it all the time. Every recipe ends up being different for me, just based on what I have in my refrigerator. After everything's cut up, just like I said again, leave everything to the side, and you're gonna go ahead and use that same pot that you used to boil your oxtail put that back on the stove and allow your oil to get hot in the same pot. As it's heating, I am going to go ahead and try and get some of those remnants off of the pot. Again, that's flavor. I don't let that go to waste. Add your brown sugar to your hot oil. This is about maybe 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. And just continue to stir. You don't want it to burn. So, and then this is me adding like 2 tablespoons of curry powder. More like 2 teaspoons, I'm sorry. And then again, continue to stir until everything is brown and bubbling, which we'll see an example of that here very shortly. There it is, until it gets like this. It's a very fine line between, as you see, I'm like pushing the pot off. Very fine line between it being this temperature and it getting burnt. So please try not to burn it, because if you burn it, you'll have to start over, because that burnt flavor will end up being in your dish later. So the oxtail are now being tossed in the vegetable oil, brown sugar, curry mixture, and you're just gonna stir that up and then just allow it to kind of sit and do its own thing for a little bit. From that point, we're gonna go ahead and add our onions. Like, I add the onions and the garlic now. So go ahead and add that. And then once you've done that, just give it a stir and let it kind of do its own thing. Try not to over stir. I put my husband in charge of stirring. As I was watching the video, I noticed he was stirring quite a bit, which actually broke up the meat. So right here, you'll see me adding thyme. And I always kind of crush the thyme. Any sort of dried herb we have, I crush it before I put it in there, just to kind of open it up and let those flavors out. Add your paprika, pepper, and your salt. All your ingredients that you have I showed earlier, the allspice, everything that you saw earlier, just start to add. All of the amounts that I use will be listed down below. You'll have the actual written recipe down below. And then just watch the video to get a demonstration of how to do it. This is the beef base. It's already really beefy, but I always add that just to kick it up a notch, flavor-wise. Add the rest of your vegetables at this time. And again, just kind of stir it up. And then I added some of that reserve, maybe about 2 cups of that reserve stock that we made earlier. Put a lid on it, let it sit, and then it'll start to look like this. This particular recipe that I did, it got way too tender. Like the meat just came off the bone. I like having my oxtail on the bone, but this is what it ends up being. The rice is from a previous last week's video, the easy pigeon peas and rice. Then we have the oxtail, and I also paired it with plantains. That's also from a previous video that I'll link below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's one of my favorite recipes. I always top it with a little cilantro. Really, really good. If you try it, please let us know. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.